Good evening. Welcome back to another segment of 30 for 30. Tonight we'll be covering the motivational story of an athlete who came from nothing. Coming to you live from San Diego, California, our guest tonight, Seth Delgado. So Seth, how's it going?
It's going really good. How are you?
Good, yeah. So let's just dive right into it.
Awesome, let's do it.
How was your childhood?
Well, my childhood was very interesting. Where do you want me to start?
I'd say let's start at the beginning.
So,
How was your siblings, family?
I was born and raised in Oceanside, California, which
Tell us about
is,
that.
do you know anything about Oceanside, California?
I've heard things, but
It's not exactly, well, where are you from?
I'm from Minnesota.
Okay. Well, Oceanside, California isn't exactly the greatest place on earth. And when I mean that, it's lower income, lower quality, not the best area or environment, the safest thing in the world. But the thing about Oceanside, California is that it will always be my home. And you have a special place in your heart in Minnesota, right?
Absolutely.
What city are you from?
Minneapolis.
Okay. So go Cougs?
No, go Gophers.
Okay. And I'm from Oceanside, and I had a. What do you want to know about? Do you want to know more about Oceanside?
Well, let's hear about Oceanside. What was the city life like? What was the community like?
Community was probably a lack thereof. The community life. People don't go around that much, don't go out that much. Usually it's just two parents that are hardworking, kind of just trying to get by with whatever they can get, and raise their family, and provide for their children, whichever way that is. I mean, my dad's had more than one job at a time. My mom's had to raise kids and to balance jobs and all that at the same time, just to get food on the table. But if that paints a picture for what's kind of going on there.
Right, it sounded like pretty hard.
Yeah, it's pretty hard, but it's all a blessing when you look at it. But it's going to be hard at some points. But I do have a brother.
Okay.
Who's my best friend.
Oh, awesome. Tell us about that.
And his name is Jared. And kind of like your name, Jeremy. Jeremy and Jared.
2 J's.
Yeah. So Jared is my younger brother, born of my mother, inseminated by my father, and which makes him biological. And so we just really went through everything together. I mean, I don't have somebody as close in my life as Jared, because how can you? He's my brother, and he knows what we went through with our parents, what we went through growing up in Oceanside. Lower income family. He's can relate to me the most, and he's he just knows everything about me. He's my best friend.
That's awesome. Did anything happen to him?
Well, to him, no, he didn't die or anything, but he's still alive. So I would say no, nothing happened to him.
All right, so just tell us about your how healthy was your home life? What was your relationship like with your parents?
It was about as healthy as somebody that's going on The Biggest Loser. So that means that, well, let me start off with my dad. My dad was involved with a lot of gang violence and a lot of the Oceanside sort of drug dealing crowd. And so that means that he wasn't around that much, and that he's not exactly the greatest guy in the world. But you saw that kind of start to wear at my mom. And so my mom would handle him staying out late, not coming home. We don't know where he is. My mom would cope with that stress and anxiety with stuff like alcohol, and she would abuse other things to really cope. And that really showed in her relationship with us, and how my father and my mother raised me and my younger brother, because they were strict parents, but they just weren't around that much. And there were a few nights where my mom would just come home just very intoxicated intoxicated, and that's not the greatest thing for like kids in high school to see their parents like going through tough times, and you don't know where your dad is, and you hear that he's involved with like gangs, and then your mom's just always drunk. So it wasn't exactly the healthiest environment ever. I mean, I love my parents and I can tell that they love me, but it's not exactly your granola family situation.
Right. Yeah. So how did you make it out of that?
So I don't really know how I made it out of that, but you hear stories about regular families, and you hear stories about people, you know, from our area that do make it out, and pretty much you just gotta stay true to what you love and what you do. And something that I really loved is baseball. And so my ticket out of Oceanside was my love for the game of baseball and what the game can like bring me.
That's awesome. So speaking of baseball, what does it mean to you?
So I'll tell you about where I started and where I have gotten. So I started the game of baseball, you know, around 8th grade in high school. 9th grade, I started really getting into it. But the thing about baseball is that it's more of like it's an expensive game to play. You need your bat, you need your glove, you need your cleats, you need your jersey, you need your pants. You know, it's a pretty expensive sport. And so in the beginning, I didn't have the coolest glove or the coolest cleats or stuff like that. I just wanted to be out on the field because it was an escape from everything that I was really dealing with at home, and it was just where I felt wanted and where I felt like I belonged. And so I started baseball in high school, and I was pretty just talented at it, and so I played on varsity in my high school, and I loved it. I loved the team, I loved the community, and I really loved my coach. So it's brought me a lot.
That's awesome. So did you always know you were going to college? And if so, why did you choose a junior college?
So the thing about baseball that I was talking about is it's a pretty expensive sport, and so something that my family struggles with is expenses. And so I knew that if I ever wanted to go to college, regardless playing baseball in college, that I was probably going to have to get a pretty big scholarship. And so something that I was working for all of high school, once I started to figure out about money and about scholarships and that I might have the opportunities to play in college and then beyond high school, I really took advantage of my time and really set a goal of getting a scholarship to play in college so that, one, I could go to college, and two, I could keep playing the game that I loved. But what was your question?
Why did you go to Palomar? Why did you go to junior college?
Oh, I went to a junior college because I wanted to stay closer for a lot of reasons. I wanted to stay closer to home, to stay with my brother, and because I wasn't really particularly ready to leave him at home by himself with his parents. I wasn't ready to move across the country or, just be in a completely new environment. So Palomar was a good option because it was cheap, and it was super close to home, so I could stay near my family, near my brother, and near the community that I was raised in. And so I thought it was a good opportunity when it comes to me being able to play baseball in college and expenses.
That's awesome.
Thanks, Jeremy.
So how did your coaches at Palomar influence you to make a decision between the three pretty good schools, Kansas State, San Diego State, and OSU?
Well, my coaches were great, and something that I found at Palomar was my coach was more than just a coach. He was actually like a father figure for me in my life, because when you think about it, in college sports, you're spending more time with your coach and your team than you are with your actual family. At least it was for me. And so that was a great time for my coach at Palomar to step in as a father, kind of a father role in my life, which is something that he wanted to do. And so he's somebody that I really trusted, and he's somebody that he trusted me and I trusted him. And so our relationship really blossomed, and he helped me out getting me to a Division I college, which is something that I wanted to do. And he knew my financial situation. He knew, kind of my goals with what I wanted to do with college baseball, and so we really narrowed it down to 3 options. And I picked Oklahoma State because I was ready to move out of California, and I really felt that the coaches in the program and the environment at Oklahoma State is something that I'd like to be a part of, and I feel like that was my family, and I felt that I was being called to go play for them, and that's just something that took time and took thinking, but through me and talking to my coach and talking to my family, it was the option that was the best opportunity for me in my career.
That's awesome. And how has that played out with you now at OSU? How's everything going?
OSU was great. I've now graduated from OSU, but it was a great time. I played a lot. Playing in the Big 12 was something that I kind of dreamed of doing from when I was a kid, but it was a great opportunity, and not very many people from where I'm from, get to play college sports, let alone baseball, and it was I'm super blessed and super thankful for Oklahoma State, and felt like it was a great opportunity, a great ride, and I really learned a lot from that school, and it helped me become, the man I am today.
So now that you've played in 2 different colleges, 2 different types of colleges, junior college and Division I, what are the differences there?
So it's all part of the journey, but when you're in junior college, you're trying to figure out kind of what you want to do and who you are, and you're fresh out of high school. And so the thing about junior college is it's exactly what you make it out to be. You could make junior college into the worst experience of your life, or you could make it out to the best experience of your life. It's the first time that all the cards are put into your hand, and you get to choose how you play them. So I really grew as an individual in junior college, and then leading into Division I school at Oklahoma State, I learned kind of how to be a leader, how to take take what I learned from high school and junior college, and to teach the younger kids, and to make myself into being a leader of a big time program. And so that was the differences, and I learned you can't learn everything from every school, but I'm super thankful for those opportunities, and I really learned a lot about baseball and what it is to be a man, and leading a team, and being just part of something bigger than yourself.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on all your accolades. You really came out of it from the bottom, and we're glad to have you on our 30 for 30 show with our family.
Thank you, man.